bunch of multicolor lights, just going round and round. It was really the first night that we were staying in that house. We used to hear the howling of the dogs in a very freakish manner, like being a spiritual person she just touched him, and that thing, whatever was in him, just went away. I just wanted to say that I'm trying to start a new channel or a new idea that I wanted to incorporate in my whatever. So I want to basically narrate stories on mystical creatures, mythical creatures, or any experiences that you had at McDonald's or anything in India, anywhere that humanly kind of hitchhiker experiences or creature experiences. So I would love to do those stories, narrate those stories, mentioning your name in this particular video, or I would make a separate channel for that, and I would enjoy doing that. So if you guys are interested, please send us that story to my personal email ID that I'm putting down in the description below, and I hope this will be a boost. Yeah guys, this would be a success, so I would love to do that. So let's get back to the video. Basically, yes, I do believe in the paranormal because okay, whatever, if you live in a world of full of technology and that, but that doesn't override the thought that there is something beyond science that exists. Okay, so definitely I do I have a strong belief in all those stuff because of the experience that I have gone through that made it more solid hard trust. ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾಗೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? Why is it going off to locking mode? Yes, my experiences have made the belief in paranormal more strong there. Okay, so what I'm going to say is yes, when I was a kid, as I told you people that I was living in Saudi Arabia first 12-15 years of my life. So there I had lived with my mother, my father, and my elder sister, and we basically had a huge house, as I told you. So our study room was big enough to accommodate like 30 people, so that's how big it was. We had the two study tables placed side by side, and there was actually a long huge rectangular mirror which was hanged in the center of the the study tables. So I sometimes, me and my sister, we used to study late in the night, and we had some small rags which we could put on the floor and sleep there itself. So sometimes if we wanted to have some fun or talk something, have that sisters moment, we used to put a rag on the floor and sleep there itself. And that night happened to be the night when my parents were not at home. Both were doctors, as I said, so they were on 24 hours duty. So what happened is me and my sister were alone at home, and we had our dinner and we did our homework, everything. We studied and we were sleeping on the rag on the floor in the study room. So I don't know, she frankly, more than me, she has experienced a lot. Maybe if I get her on camera one day with me, she can tell her experiences to you. Okay, so that's how it is. She woke me up in the middle of the night telling that she was hearing some sound, seeing something and all that. And I just got up, and I was really shocked to see that the mirror, as I said, it was in the middle of the two tables. The mirror there, and that reflection, I was seeing a bunch of multicolor lights, just going round and round. It was really that mirror was reflecting the view out of the study room door. So basically the lights were out of the study room, and we could see the lights from the mirror reflection, okay, into the room. So that was I have no idea. I can see, I am like, I am old enough now and I can remember something at my childhood, so it was so clear, few things were really clear that I could explain. So pretty much in that home, I didn't have much experiences. The other experience, what I would say is, we had a huge walkway, either sides, bedroom doors and bathrooms and all that. So at the end of the walkway, the hallway was a huge, we had big mirrors in that home. So you can imagine that mirror was sorry, I just got diverted from the topic. So I don't know. What was I saying? Yes, that was one of my childhood experience. Also, as I said, in the hallway there was a huge mirror, a rectangular, and it was about like 3 feet tall and some again 3-4 feet wide. So it was a huge mirror there in the hallway. I don't know, I had always that creepy thought that whenever I used to walk in that hallway, I had to turn back and look at the mirror. So I don't know, I one day as a kid I was just dancing and I was just turning around quickly, and suddenly I just saw the mirror. There was a sleek, slender image that I saw in the center of the mirror. So that also I can remember. That was also one of my experience. So basically in that home I had that much of experience. That's it. As I said, my sister has more than that, so I would be very happy to have her on the video and tell you about her experiences, that she can only tell you about her experiences along with me here. So the next experience, I guess, was when I came back to India, and we were staying in a rented house in Mysore, and we were staying in a rented house in Mysore. And what happened is that, is this specs a bit, yeah, I think this is much better, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is better than that. Okay, so basically we were in a rented house in Mysore, and what happened is that why is this hair is not sitting? Am I overly makeup? I don't think so. I love the lens and I love the lipstick. So I won't divert from my topic. Let me talk to you, okay? So we were in a rented house in Mysore, and what happened is that see, I get diverted. Yeah, we were in a rented house in Mysore, and what happened is that me and my sister had a separate bedroom. Yes, it was a normal house. It was not that big house or something. So we had a bedroom, and I used to finish my homework by 10:30 with my dad, and we used to go to our rooms and sleep. So we shared a common bedroom. I was, I guess, the age of 12 or 13 or something of like that. So what happened? Frankly, yeah. Our window was projecting the walkway outside the house. So basically, how the house was, there was a gate, and opposite to the gate was a huge gardenish kind of space. It was a walkway, basically, it was a parking area, you can say. Yeah, that is much better. So there was a parking area, and to the right side there was a few steps, and that was the pavement of the house. So that's how the house was. So our bedroom window was directly attached to the common wall, which was between the parking area and as well as our bedroom. So that's how it was. So basically every single night, the first night that we were staying in that house, we used to hear the howling of the dogs in a very freakish manner. Exactly at 11:55 to 12:10, we used to hear them howling like crazy. It was a bad howl. It was a bad omen, bad sound kind of howl, okay. And it used to stop around 12:15, 12:20, and we used to always get freaked out and everything. It used to always happen exactly at that time that I mentioned, and what happened is that we kept on analyzing this for a few days on the go, and finally we decided to tell our parents that what we were experiencing. So my mom is such a person who does a lot of puja to God, and lot of fasting, lot of vrata and all those things. So she's basically more into that spirituality world or thing. So whenever we used to hear the howls, we used to shout from our room. We used to be scared as kids. She was also around, if I was 12, she was around 19 or 18. So we were small girls, as you know. So we used to scream from our room, and our mom used to come running. The moment she used to step into our room, you won't believe, the house would just go mute. Not even silent, mute immediately. It was, oh my God, I can't even believe. So what used to happen is, like, she used to never even believe that we were going through all this. She was thinking like these girls are playing pranks in the middle of the night and just disturbing us and all those things. So basically we both tried to convince our parents about what was happening, but they were not believing. And one day it went beyond the limits, and at 11:45, 11, as I said, we used to sleep at 2 o'clock and get up at 6 o'clock, and we used to go to our schools and all of that sort. So yeah, we were really disturbed, especially my sister. She was in college or something, I'm not sure. So she was during that time of her life. So it was tough for us as kids. As I said, one day it went overboard, and what happened is that at correct 11:55 we heard someone open the gate. That gate was very creaky, so we could hear whatever sounds, even the slightest sounds that could happen outside. And we had a small garden, as I said, so there was a bunch of dried leaves on that walkway, and if you just imagine, if someone walks on them, that crunchy sound. So someone just slightly opened the gate, closed the gate back behind them, and they started walking slowly. Okay, it was like a boot sound if a man walks with boots. So that person was walking on the pavement on those dried leaves, and we could hear the crunch. And suddenly he comes to our window. We could see the shadow of the person there, and he grabs our window. In India, there are windows with grills, those windows with grills. It's not like plain glass that you see in abroad. So he just grabs hold of the grill, and he starts shaking it, trying to open the window, and trying to open the window. I don't know, we immediately, our immediate response was to scream, and my father came running inside the room, and again the same thing disappears. It just disappears. It's like as nothing ever happened. That's how the room would look later or sound later. So he actually, my father is a brave man, and he went outside and he searched around the house, whole house. He went behind, front, everything. He couldn't find anything. So he was like, these girls are, I have no idea. He actually, frankly, I'll tell you, I'll come back to that main secret at the end of the video, okay? He used to not scold us much, because I'll tell you the reason why, okay? Then he just went back to the room, and one fine day, actually my father's brother's son, my cousin basically, was also living with us in that home. He was about 22, 23 plus or something. He used to sleep in the hall. My mom, my dad had a separate room. We both had a separate room. So that's how it is. And one fine night, what happened? It was a full moon or no moon day, I don't know. But either of that, okay. So at correct 12 o'clock. Yeah, and yes, before that, I'll tell you. Mm, it was one night, it was raining so badly, and my sister, the current went off, and my sister was actually, we close all the windows and sleep, so there was basically no wind in the home and no AC, no fan on, so you can know that. She was holding a diya in her hand and just walking down the hallway, and the diya just goes poof, it just goes off. So that was one of the experience. And the other night was like, we were sleeping, we had our room doors always open so that our parents could hear us if we wanted anything like that. So if you just imagine an old person walking on the floor, basically they cannot lift their leg as due to their age, and they just sweep their legs on the floor. So that kind of sound also we had heard once. So basically these were the small experiences that we were going through every night, basically every single night. It was not like alternate nights or consecutive nights, every single night. So that's how it was. So I'll come to the main thing. Yeah, it was a full moon or a no moon night, and we were going through a lot. So my mom used to put that black taita in our language. It was, so basically in English it is like, it is a black thread which has a dollar of the god Hanuman. Okay, so basically Hanuman god is used in many places to ward off the evil negativity. So she had tied one of that kind of necklace to our neck, okay, to my neck, and basically, as she was a spiritual person herself, my father was next to her, so he's also has that positivity. That's what I believe. But this person, my cousin, didn't have a taita, that thread that I said, that necklace on his neck or something. And that night, he was howling like a wolf from the hall. And it was not only heard by me or my sister, it was also heard by my parents. Okay. So, yeah. Just give me a moment. It's so freaky to just think about it right now. One second. Yeah, I was saying. So that's how it happened, and yeah. Yeah, he was howling like a wolf in the middle of the hall, and basically it was like, yes, he was howling like a wolf in the middle of the hall and the top of his lungs. And my mom just came rushing out of the bedroom door, and she just went dashing to see what has happened to him. And me and my sister was so freaked that we didn't even exit the room, and she went and saw, and the way she explains is that he was holding his neck and asking and begging my mom to help him. And he was howling at the same time, and being a spiritual person she is, she just touched him, and that thing, whatever was in him, just went away. And what he explains is that there was a ton of weight on his chest, that he couldn't talk or he couldn't call for help. He felt something weird. So that was it. That was the final experience that even my parents went through. And yeah, what happened, we had to vacate the house. My mom was very worried about our kids' safety, that she said to my father that she will be going to her mom's place with her kids, that's me and my sister. And later that my father had to find another house so we could move in, and then we could come back from my grandma's home. So actually I think we vacated the house in a week or so. Means my father was there, he had to search for another rented house. So she just took us, and we went to our grandmother's house. And my father later calls up and says that he was actually told by the broker who showed him the home that the house was haunted, and that he had to keep it as a secret to us, because we were a little financially issue, so it was a less rent to be paid, so that is the reason he kept it as a secret with us. And actually my father is not a true believer of all the paranormal stuff. As I said, he's a very kind of brave man, and he just wadded it off. And as we were experiencing it, he really gave a thought about it, and he later revealed that the owner of the house was an old man who died in the home, and was, means no one knew that he was died. I think 3-4 days, then the neighbors came to know that he was not moving around, and then they found his body in the house. So that's how they say that is the reason, but basically the house was haunted and he didn't want it to reveal us as a kid. So that was one of the experience. And yes, I will definitely do a part 2 on this because I think enough of these talks right now, and the video is also too long, and there is another part which is really more it's a very, very personal experience, so that I would definitely love to share. And do watch it, do not miss it. And yes, and I will touch my heart, cross, and say that all these are the true stories of my life. Okay, it is not made up, it is not taken from anywhere or heard from anything, or just childhood stories, child making stories. So I just yes, I have another few experiences that I will do in the second part of this video. And also guys, I wanted to say that I would love to narrate stories, preferably creature stories, or preferably mythical creature stories, the creatures in lakes, swamps, in mountains, in forests, in jungles, in woods. So I live in India. I'm not limiting to the audience to the India, so I'm broadly asking the audience across the world. So I'm planning to do such stories on this same channel, but if it really improves, I may open a separate channel for those stories. So I am really, really excited to have such kind of stories in I would love to do them, because so basically I would not do the stories on ghosts, on spirits, on bad spirits and all that, because I want to stay away from that. So basically my topics would be anything more than that. So whatever Tinder experiences, Instagram experiences, Facebook experiences, or something human related stories, negative stuff, or even mythical creatures in lake, mountain, jungle, forest, as I told. So I would love to narrate that. See, if you are interested, you can really send stories to me. I will share my personal email ID in the description below. And if you are really want your story to be narrated by me, I would really love to do that. So if you have a personal story that you want the world to know, you can write that story to me, and I will read it out to the world, mentioning your name. And yes, so I really have a fascination to do that. So if you guys really support me in this, so you can send your stories to my email ID. So I would yes, maybe long ones, I would do one video on that, or even crisp and short ones. Okay, that also I would be very happy to do. So yes, so I am ending this video right here, and I would come back to you in the part 2 of my paranormal experience personally. Okay, bye guys.